the Inner Music Podcast. Your voice for a better life. So, today I will talk to you about expression and suppression and what the two have to do with each other. Well, they're obviously each other's opposite. And I think that many of us were not like we're not 80% aware of how much we are actually suppressing during the day, how much of what we actually want to say, how much of what we actually feel, how used we have gotten to just keeping everything inside and just trying to process as best as we can all the experiences that we have inside without showing or just showing a little bit of our inner world. And um, sometimes, of course, we have like great friends or great family members that we can share with, and usually that happens through words, and then we talk about the experiences that we've had, or we talk about the feelings that we have, and that can in itself be like really really beautiful. And I think that many people working in the healthcare system, like we work like that. I used to work for 10 years as a spiritual caregiver. And yes, I talked a lot with people about their experiences in life, about the hardships that they've gone through, etc., etc. And that in itself can be like beautiful. And listening is such an important skill when it comes to that. Um, So, really listening for the one who is listening to what the other one really is trying to say. So, be as open as you can. And for the other one to really listen inside and share about what is true for you. But I also always, when I was working in healthcare, I felt very much the limitation of it. Talking is amazing, yet talking has its limits because we can talk about stuff that we at the same time don't feel 100% connected to when we talk about it. And there is something really, really exciting about expressing from your emotions, expressing from the connection that you make in the moment with the experience that you've had that you're still like struggling with. So, that is what I call like expression with a capital E, and is, in my experience, now working with hundreds of people with this, um, really something profound. I think that throughout our society, you see many people like displaying very very much like a wanted sort of behavior and a wanted sort of expression. So we are kind, we are polite, um, and that in itself, of course, is great. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but it becomes a problem when that is the norm, and that anything else that is present within us as well doesn't have a place to go. So I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that we should all like run on the street like madmen, and whenever we feel a little bit irritated start to scream or bitch around, so to say. But I do feel that many of us don't have a safe space to express from within, connected from within. So not even at home, not even when you're alone, not even when you're in the forest. At least I talk to people like and friends from Holland that still live in Holland, and that even like the forests are getting crowded, and we don't feel free to scream even in a forest. And yet, that pure and raw and unpolished expression, even if it's just like 1 minute or even half a minute, can make such a profound impact on your day, can make such a profound impact on how you encounter the world around you. I and I think in Holland I experienced it more than now that I'm living in Spain, but in Holland I always felt also myself because I back then didn't completely have that means yet to fully embrace my authentic self expression. I think when I was still working in healthcare, I see many people walking around um, like charged. So we're, and I mean, then charged with specific emotions, charged with stress, charged with irritation, charged with anger, charged with sadness, like all these things that are touched upon us during the day, during the week, during a month, during a year. And it feels as if it's like building up inside of us, and we simply don't have the means to um, to deal with it. So what happens is that like I see emotions, they're they're just energy. And if we like something is touched in us, maybe because we see something and it makes us think about a loved one that is not with us anymore, for example, then there can be like a touch of sadness. Maybe you experience it in the heart, or and then if we can make space for it, it's an emotion that moves through us. Maybe it moves through your voice, or it comes out through tears, and then it can also move out of your body again. But during the day, there is like many of these moments that we are touched. Like maybe there is an annoying colleague, maybe there is your mother that calls you or doesn't call you. Maybe there is you running late for the train, etc., etc. Like all these little triggers that just build up in our system, and we don't have a means to express it. And so it's as if like this energy or this tension is building up in our energy, but it doesn't have anywhere to flow. And if that just happens one day, okay, so be it. Maybe sometimes you come home, you have a headache, or you have, your belly hurts, or you just feel extremely tired. But you can imagine that if that is the case, like years and years and years, or weeks and weeks and months, um, that we might actually start to suffer from, for example, illnesses, either mentally or physically. And it is not a sign of you have done anything wrong, or it is merely, I think, a sign of just energy that hasn't been able to move, and it's nobody's fault. It's simply, I think, an unseen or neglected part of us. I think we have become so socialized and so civilized, and like many rituals are also disappearing out of our culture, like singing together, grieving together. Like there is still some cultures that again, to get back to the example of sadness and grief, that there is people are free to just really um, mourn out loud, singing, crying, screaming, all the sadness, all the frustration, all the feeling disempowered, everything that it can move out of us, and we don't, and these people, they don't move away from it, but we are encouraging and helping others expressing that. Well, when I look at my own culture, of course, because that's where I come from, Northern European, it is, well, yes, of course, sometimes you can cry, but then you say sorry. And crying is something we do silently. It's just like some water running out of your eyes. And then when it gets really bad, then maybe you will start to really, um, shiver a bit with your breath. But that's about it. but that really deep cry that is within you, that really like truly represents the sadness that you're actually feeling, or the hurt that you feel in your heart, um, there seems to be no place for that. And there seems to be a lot of shame and suppression around it. And maybe you can express it when you're, at home alone. But even then, many people hold back. Might sound depressing what I'm saying, but no, really, I'm not trying to put you down. I'm just trying to touch upon something that I think is very real and alive in our society nowadays, and that there is actually like a really, 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 really easy and simple solution for it. Um, of course, some people, they're drawn to making art and painting and stuff like that, and that is amazing. Um, and it's brings about sometimes also really beautiful end results. So that's great. For me, I love painting, but for me it's a still a bit of an indirect way of expressing myself. Uh, what I love about the voice is that we use it every day, every day. It's a daily thing. It is with you wherever you go, there is your voice. And it can be so simple, this authentic expression. Like maybe you can even do it right now with me. Just tuning in a second to how you're feeling. Maybe you feel relaxed, maybe you're annoyed, maybe you're doing the dishes while you're hearing my voice, maybe you're in bed, maybe you feel tired, happy, angry, curious, anything. Just breathing into that. And on out breath, just opening your mouth and allowing any sound to come out of you while you connect to that emotion or that emotional state. Ah, it can be sighing, it can be screaming. Maybe there is like a melody coming out of you. Also welcome. So it can be like that, short and simple. I remember when I was still working um, in mental health care, I sometimes would go to the toilet and just like, okay, connect to myself. Um, and then it's just shaking it out and just allowing it out, and just allow yourself to clear, to become clear, to use your voice to clear out any stuck energy, any emotion that you feel like, okay, it's time to let go of that. Maybe it's not yours, maybe, you know, so you can let go of it. And it can be as short as 10 seconds. I do it with my students in my online community. We do it for a few minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes, and you can do it for an hour, I guess. Um, and it just clears your mind. And I'm just trying to picture what the world would look like if we would all take time to clear out our mind of all the triggers, all the things that we are charged with during the day. If we would take like responsibility in such an easy way like this, clear it out, and from that place encounter other people. So we're not like putting on a mask of kindness or being polite, helping someone else because we know this is how we are supposed to behave, and that is the way, um, in a very direct way, we get love, or we get like reflections uh, of kindness towards us, but that it comes from a place of overflow and clarity. Just because you feel so good, you're like, yes, of course I want to give this, and not out of some sort of idea that we have to give something, um, out of people pleasing, or out of fear that we otherwise might not be good enough, uh, unwanted. So we let go of all the ideas about how we should behave, but first take care of ourselves. and clear out anything that is not in place. And like for, I would say 80-85 of the percent of the triggers, it can be as simple as that. Just taking 5 minutes maybe out of your day and clearing that out by using your voice, maybe combined with music. And some triggers point to something deeper, maybe, uh, you know, a smaller or bigger trauma that you have gone through, or like some childhood memory, maybe that stirs up some more. And then you could do like a deeper process, of course. But what I was saying, like, I'm wondering what the world would look like. I think it will be amazing because people would clear up, open up, um, be more in touch with joy, with their inspiration, because we're not so clouded by, um, yeah, all the things that are wearing us down, all the weight and of stuck energy that we, carry with us. So yeah, yeah. Uh, let's make the world a better place. Hmm. If you're interested, if you'd like to try, you can download a free expression meditation on my website. Just go to innermusicmethod.com, and there you see it's right on the first page. You can just download it, and you can try it out. That is a meditation where you connect to your body, and you just give your voice over to different parts of your body, and you allow free expression to come from that place. It's based on the body scan from mindfulness, and I've given mindfulness trainings for quite some time, and I I have always loved doing that. Except that I have always felt there was something missing in meditation, and for me that has been sound. So I would have all these experiences within me, within my mind, within my body, and now it just feels so good to also be able to let that out and give expression to it, to hear myself literally, to, like, by doing this, you are actually implicitly saying to yourself, like, it's okay. Y- I want to hear you. You're worthy to be heard. Um, it's not silly, whatever you have to say, or whatever you're feeling. It's welcome. It's welcome in this world. So, yeah, I feel very encouraged and very welcome to do that meditation. And yeah, of course, I'd love to hear your experience with it. And yeah, let me know how it was for you. Be in touch. Thanks a lot for joining me again on this podcast. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. Know that you are not alone, and you can always reach out if you're wanting to discover more around finding your unique voice and your unique expression. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and much love.
For more information about my work, innermusicmethod.com.